Welcome back for another episode of the Chamber Podcast. We have a full house here today at the studio. Joining me at the table is the LaFontaine Automotive Group. We have Casey, Steve, and Thomas. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Casey's second appearance on the show. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And today we're talking about the apprenticeship program at LaFontaine. And Thomas Montgomery, you were, was it the first person through the apprenticeship program to go and manage a service station or a full service department?
No, so I actually went through our intern program.
I see.
So it's a collaboration between Northwood and LaFontaine.
Okay.
So I started off as an intern in 2018. Come the summer of 2019, joined the team at LaFontaine as a service advisor. Did that for about a year. Then took my mentor's job as a service lane manager. About 18 months after that, went to the service management of our largest dealer in the group. So
That's wild. That's quite the progression. And I want to talk a little bit more about the logistics of that and what it's been like to move up so quickly. Before we do that, I want to talk a little bit more about the program. So Steve, walk me through the apprenticeship program and how that works.
Yeah, so we really identified that we have a need for technicians, and it's a struggle for everybody nationwide. So we really thought about thinking outside the box and what we can do differently. So trying to look at growing our own technicians within our group, looking at our family members that are already within the group and see how we can grow them and enhance their careers. So what we did was we did a little think tank, and Ryan LaFontaine ran this think tank with shop foremen, service managers, technicians throughout the group, and we were there from like 5 o'clock in the afternoon up until almost 9 o'clock at night, just throwing up ideas on the wall. What's going to work? Some of these ideas were pretty crazy. And the cool thing was we used almost all these ideas in trying to create this program and got insight from people that are in the trenches every single day. So what we did was we created an 18-month program where we take these young apprentices and put them with a technician trainer. And through those 18 months, we're going to, not only are they going to get paid through this program, but also they're going to go through and they're going to get different certifications for the state. By the end of that program, they're going to have 6 certifications. They're going to have a graduation, get a toolbox from the family, and have a nice little ceremony to celebrate that celebration. So it's going to be pretty fun. We're very excited for it. We're going to have our first graduation this year. We have 50 apprentices in the program right now with another 50 tech trainers. So it's been working out for us very, very well so far, and we're really excited to get more family members into that program and bring as many as we can in.
I love it. So Thomas, on the side of going through a similar program, the internship program, what was it like to have such a quick progression from being at college and then into a level or at a level now where you have a ton of responsibility?
it can be frustrating, but it's a lot easier when you have people like LaFontaine has, and the LaFontaines and their management teams. I don't think anybody could do a better job, unfortunately. We have the best people in my store to teach me everything I needed to know at a rapid pace. But the why is the big part of it, is why we do this, why we do that. And the outcomes they give you is essentially the real reasoning behind a lot of these decisions you have to make. So when you can learn the why from the best people in the business, it makes it very, very easy to figure out this game, we call it, and get you to a very quick position making a lot of money.
Casey, I want to bring you in for a minute. So as the grassroots marketing manager, which is still one of my favorite marketing titles I've ever heard, walk me through how your department collaborates and works on the internship and, of course, the apprenticeship program as well.
Yeah. So what we do is we bring our mission statement into the community and within the dealership too. So it's to build lifelong relationships that connect families, strengthen the community, and personalize that automotive experience. So being part of like the chambers and then being part of the schools, I'm able to find the programs that are out there, which we found through LISA, the Livingston Education Service Agency, had the automotive program. And so then they filter that into the Livingston County schools. So I was able to contact the teachers, the instructors, and then have our service managers at different dealerships be on the advisory committee. So then that way we can have industry needs, talking with the teachers that are doing the curriculum and instructing and have that collaboration. And so actually Thomas is on the advisory committee, and then tomorrow they have a job shadowing day, Pinckney schools. You have a couple students coming from there, which is great. And so they can shadow one of our service technicians and kind of just see what the whole aspect might be and see what that inside dealership setting is like. And so we're hoping to just coordinate more of those type of things. So my job is really to connect everybody together, connect all the pieces.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
In the pre-show, we talked a little bit about how there's a shortage nationwide for technicians. What do you attribute to that?
I think the old view of a technician was a mechanic, right? And like Thomas brought up, there's really so much technology in these vehicles now. They're more so computers, right?
Yeah.
These are certified technicians. They have to go through a lot of training every single year to keep up with all these manufacturers, right? So it's a very technologically advanced position now. And I think the view of it is not what it should be. So we're trying to kind of change that by obviously going to schools. And it's not even just the technician roles that we have opportunities for, right? You think about the many different roles within the dealership, from sales to parts to the office. There's so many different opportunities within the dealership, but with technicians, we're just trying to really get that out there that it is a really, one, lucrative position, but two, it's a different looking job than what it used to be. With EV vehicles, most of the things we do are software updates. Sometimes they're not even getting dirty at all, right? So it's a different industry now, and we're just trying to spread that word as much as we can by getting into the schools and bringing them into our stores as well so they can kind of see it. I think that's really the mindset we got to change.
Have you seen something similar, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, a big part of it is what I grew up in, the go to college push, right? If you're graduating, not going to college, people are, looking a little funny at you.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah, but I mean, that's unfortunately the saddest story ever sold. There's a ton of money and people who keep this country going, the people who turn the wrenches and drive the trucks. Without them, we can talk about computers, we can talk about anything we want to talk about, but you got it came on a truck, right? So a key piece of keeping everything going forward is having individuals who can fix the trucks, right? So now that we have a bunch of people who didn't get shown this path or passed down this path, we have to grow our own individuals, say, hey, come check this out. We can teach you how to do it. We'll show you how to do it. We'll employ you for life. We'll treat you right. And we'll pay you a bunch of money. You interested? It's a pretty easy sell, right? Not as easy as it sounds. There's still what we talked about, this stigma of a technician, this blue-collar employee that just needs to be vanished. I mean, if I could do it all over again, I promise you I'd be in the shop right now. I wouldn't be wearing what I'm wearing right now. But it's something you got to display to somebody and sell it right. But you got to have the drive to do it because this business is evolving quicker than you can open the next door. What you taught them today is null and void the next day. So it takes someone who's got the fight in them to do it.
Yeah. So obviously, LaFontaine's strategy is to make inroads to the school. You're doing that with Livingston ESA, I'm sure with public schools as well. What other things from an awareness and educational perspective should people know about this particular position that you're trying to fill through the schools?
I think the biggest thing for me, just even as a mom, is, and just like you were saying, college is not for everybody. So knowing that there's another career path and a path that you're going to get the education, you're going to get the skills, the training, the certifications. I think the biggest thing too is when you go into working on cars, you have to bring your own tools. That's a big expense. So the fact that we can provide them tools when they come through this program, that gives them a jump start to know that this career is going to start right away. No college debt. You're going to learn a really great skill that will be with you forever. So I think hitting all those different pathways. So high school to college, because maybe it is college, but maybe it's finance, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's something else. Because under that umbrella, like Steve said, we have a lot of different positions. And so LaFontaine is a growing company. We're at 37 dealerships. We're not stopping.
I thought it was 39.
It could be coming.
I'm pretty sure it's 39, right?
It's soon.
37 now.
Okay.
37 now. So we need positions to fill. And without technicians especially, we don't have a company, right? I mean, it really starts with that. So I think changing the face of what it looks like now, educating, collaborating with the teachers and, the service technicians, and just having that whole talk on what's to come and what we should teach down, filtering down job shadows, just doing the career fairs,
Yeah.
just really the awareness, I think is huge.
So for the apprenticeship program, how does that cycle work? How do people get involved if that's something that...
So we talk about it with all of our team. We sit down with those tech trainers. That was the biggest role to fill. First, identifying that technician that is able to pass on that knowledge to an apprentice. So once we identified them, we're going to interview either people that are coming from outside the group or family members already with us now, and identify that they're willing to put the effort in and have the drive and the passion to complete that task. So once we do that, we enter them in the program, and they're working with that tech trainer. We have check-ins every 2 weeks. We sit down with those mentors and the apprentices and just check in, see how they're doing on their path. We have a very regimented schedule about what they should be completing. So we try to make sure we're hitting all those points each week and keep them on point and just make sure that they're the right fit to work together too, right? So you have personalities sometimes that don't gel. So that's why we kind of have that interview process first to make sure that personality is going to gel with each other. But the technician mentors that we thought would be maybe the ones that maybe shouldn't be in it have been the ones that have been most passionate about it. Listening to these technician mentors that are talking about their apprentices and seeing the growth with those young individuals, they're so passionate about it and they're getting emotional about it. And it's just awesome to see, right? They're passing on this knowledge that is invaluable, and watch them do that and to get the reward from that has just been huge.
Love that. So as this program expands, I imagine, is it rolled out to all 37 locations?
Sure is. Yeah.
And when, I'm just curious, from that whiteboard session when you guys were sitting there throwing ideas against the wall, when did it go from that? How long did it take to go from that to all 37 locations?
A month.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. We run fast, right?
I see that.
And the craziest idea that was thrown out there was for the technician trainer, what's going to be their reward? Obviously, it's going to be rewarding just from a sense that they see the accomplishment. But that reward for that technician trainer is $15,000 once that student, reaches that 18-month commitment when they graduate. So they're getting a huge reward financially. Our apprentices, again, are being paid throughout this whole program. So it's free schooling, and they get the tools. So it's really exciting. So we're waiting to see some of those people graduate and reap the rewards and make all that dough that Thomas is talking about without having the expense of a college education, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love that. Well, gang, anything else on the apprenticeship program before I wrap up today?
I guess how could they apply? Because I actually don't know.
That's a great
Maybe
question.
FamilyDeal.com.
FamilyDeal.com.
Okay.
You can apply there. Or reach out to any service manager at any store. We love to talk to you. Obviously, we want to talk to anybody we can. Walk into a store, any one of our stores. We'd love to sit down and have a conversation with you and see if we can bring you into our family. But going to FamilyDeal.com, you can apply on there right away and we'll reach out to you.
I will say that is such a 180 from what most people think about when they walk into a service center for a dealership. Is most people hate it, right? It's like almost going to see your accountant or having to go see a lawyer. It's never a fun experience in the back of their mind. But what you just said is, no, just come in and we'll actually talk to you about hiring you.
We love that.
Or most of the time, I think people have the idea that like you're bothering someone when you're walking.
The best guys I've hired just showed up.
Right. I think it's kind of a lost art, right? I mean, going out and hitting the pavement and going into facilities and asking for a job, that's kind of a lost art. So I love when people come into our stores and ask for what they can do to work for us. I mean, it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Well, it definitely shows that they want to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shows drive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, Thomas, Casey, Steve, thank you all so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate it. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Chamber Podcast. I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you for another one next week. Take care.
All right.